I want us to have a discussion today. Don't you feel that some people, there are some powers or some few people interested in dividing Mount Kenya into two?
Last year is now being propped up as an alternative voice, even as Gachagua strives to rally Mount Kenya legislators to his side. Will Ndidi Nyoro outran Gachagua in the race to succeed former President Uhuru Kenyatta as the region's kingpin? Well, NTV's Sydney Chazima.
Why? Because we have seen Laikipia, TSP, MP, Kiunjuri, talk in a way that he seems to disrespect.
Bena kwaria na ndigetekera kuigatwo thirikari-ini to ndigatwo thirikari-ini yo huru ngifuto wira nginya mutho ndieri gukira gatumire futo ni undu okore murata wa Ruto tuikare na Ruto githurano gya kuhiriria rira ndaregire kubunja TSP nyigire ciama kingire ngitweka ningide musaliti ngeja kwa huru ngikara ndiyumiriirie na kia muicho ri ngiura na ruhoro wa UDA githurano na TSP ndiraingira thini wa bunge ndira support William Samuel Ruto 2027 nginya 2032 riria akauma kia hinya
erumita keni na kuga ona thegia
Gachagua. And still we have noted that there's a kind of a bad blood between Gachagua and Kiunjuri. I'm not sure whether you are aware on how the media is trying to propagate this and try to push this agenda so much. A few months ago we had an issue where that the news or the newspapers and the media tried to propagate that there's a new fresh brand by the name Ndidi Nyoro
are now coalescing around Ndidi Nyoro, propping him up for the challenge.
Siku moja tuweze na sisi kumpata rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya kutoka huku kwetu Murang'a. Na huyo jamaa yuko hapa pamoja nasi. Jina lake Ndidi Nyoro.
This growing support,
who is being fronted to be the Mount Kenya Kingpin. I feel someone has interest in making sure that Gachagua doesn't succeed as the Mount Kenya Kingpin, or that he could not rally behind Gachagua. For personal interests or political interests. For one, I have noted that most Azimio people are so happy when things go wrong. Until I ask myself, why are you celebrating when Kenya is suffering? Are you not in the same country? You know, it's bullshit when you use our politics. We always think politically about every matter that happens in this country. If you don't have maize, if our country economy is collapsing, you can't celebrate. Don't think that, I don't believe that unless you are a very informed or a very ignorant person, I don't see why you would celebrate that its economy is collapsing when you don't know that if the economy of a government was to collapse or of a country was to collapse. It's not something that has happened in 7 months. It has been years. More than 10 years. 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, who was the president? It's the chairman of Azimio, Uhuru Kenyatta. So when you celebrate that the country is economy is collapsing, you are celebrating that Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy back then, William Ruto, and co-president Raila Odinga messed up this country. Are you not listening to yourself? Going back to the main topic is, I've seen yesterday we saw a few statements about this guy, Maina Njenga, the former
Wakati wa uchaguzi umeisha. Wakati wa siasa umeisha. Sasa tunataka kutafuta umoja wa nchi. Umoja wa mmejua tumekuwa na maandamano mbalimbali na watu ambao wanapinga maandamano. Baba pande hii, Mheshimiwa Ruto pande hii, na wengine pande hii. Tunasema siku ya leo ni kuongea maneno ya amani, 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 amani.
Mogiki leader. And the funny thing is, I don't know whether some section of Azimio is pushing for an agenda where we see Mugiki back. We have seen Maina Njenga make some statement that seem to make some idea or suggestion that he want to join Azimio. The fact is, we cannot forget what Maina Njenga has done for this country in terms of Mugiki menace and everything. That is not my statement here. My statement is, we have people who are very interested in ensuring that Mount Kenya region should not rally behind Gachagua. We have seen a few months ago people trying to push agenda where Ndidi Nyoro can replace Gachagua. We have now seen TSP, Kiunjuri, and people are trying to push an agenda. We want Kiunjuri to replace Gachagua.
I want to encourage our young leaders to look ahead and be prepared for the future.
Now, Maina Njenga seems to rally behind the same agenda. My question is, when you hear, I feel like I have not had people trying to decide to make sure that rules do not go behind Raila Odinga. I have not seen Karejin go behind, say that we don't want to see to hear people going or rallying behind William Ruto. I've not heard people say don't go rally behind Mudavadi. You know, all this politics is because as Kikuyu, we have been people who are very selfish. And we go back to 1963 or before 1963, 1950s there. Or even pre-colonial era yote. We understand that Kikuyu some were collaborators, some were assisted. And most of the chiefs, the senior chief and the colonial chiefs, most of them are people who collaborated with the whites. In the end, they funded the killing of the same Kikuyu. Are we around people to do the same right now? We are people like TSP chairperson, ama owner, because she's the owner. And a few guys like Maina Njenga to be used to divide the Mount Kenya region. And I feel like some people in the media seem to celebrate this move. I don't want to say that Gachagua is the most smartest person, but my question is, how do we benefit if we don't rally against the most powerful Kikuyu right now in terms of government, Gachagua? How do we benefit if we defranchise Gachagua be the Kingpin of Kikuyu? Because I believe one thing, in the end we will have some few leaders and some few Mount Kenya voters supporting Rigathi, others supporting Ndidi Nyoro, others supporting Maina Njenga, and others supporting TSP MP Kiunjuri. I noted when we was doing an interview at Kameme FM, I noted how it was FM on my TV, so kumbuka vizuri. I think it's Kameme FM. I remembered how some guys in the media there seems to celebrate Kiunjuri disrespecting the current Vice President of Kenya or the Deputy President of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua. I believe some want to see, some people are still in campaign mode. Some people have not moved on that. And about to Kenya people fail to listen to Uhuru Kenyatta. And when some few people, we question, how did these people get this land? We say, oh, they are attacking the rich. Oh, they are attacking. You know, we know very well about that. There's no way that anyone who got into power in 1963 managed to get all this land they have. There's no good explanation. They never worked. There's no way that around 90% of the billionaires in this country are politicians. They have not invented anything. And instead of asking ourselves, do we divide our country into tribes, or do we work as a block, especially from Mount Kenya, because the other tribes are doing the same? I feel bad when even we want to talk about Mount Kenya so much and forget other tribes because we are all black. When did some blacks matter than the others? When did some tribes matter than others? And this is the division that we were given by our colonial masters because they wanted unity. So when I see Kiunjuri respecting the deputy president and he is the most or the top ranking Kikuyu currently in government right now, I see a very big red flag. I see people who are not wise. I see leaders who we voted but cannot see beyond their personal interest. I remember a few months ago when we were voting for Iyala, Gachagua and Kanini Kega sat down and agreed. We may have differences, but the time comes that our differences are not important. And Kanini Kega got the seat. Right now, I don't understand why Kiunjuri cannot see that most Azimio supporters are very happy when Kiunjuri seems to cause drama in Kenya Kwanza. When Maina Njenga, he seems to cause power struggles in Mount Kenya region. I understand the concept of one man, one sheriff. When we may want to say one man, one sheriff, it's true we need to do that and we need to look at that. But the BBI, I believe most of the people who are, especially Azimio, would want to feel like they were very smart. The only segment of Azimio, BBI, that made sense was one man, one vote. But if you go back to that paper that they gave, it was a paper that didn't have the right information. The BBI that was founded by Azimio was a very long BBI. It was meant to make some people get seats, not to get money. The concept of one man, one vote was just there as a bait to allow some people get political seats and benefit they want. But when you look at the BBI, they are now, you see, the reason why some of them are celebrating Kiunjuri and the one man, one vote, it's not that they like Kiunjuri. It's because they want to feel that they were right. For one man, one vote, that made sense. But what crap did we have in that BBI? It was a lot. How much money did we spend on that? Who paid for that right now? Is it not Wajiko? When you fight Gachagua and you fight the government, we need to ask ourselves, this government has done a lot of mistakes, yes, but what about the previous government? What about Azimio? The same Azimio has a problem with the Jarango, putting interest of Rangata people first instead of Baba, and people are hungry, and we have seen what happened. If the Azimio supporters cannot have democracy, can Azimio as a party, as a coalition, give us democracy? When we fight like this, it doesn't make sense. When we celebrate Maina Njenga because he seems to have an idea that we like, are we not celebrating that Mugiki should come back and terrorize us as business people? Are you celebrating that Mugiki should join Azimio protest? Demonstration will not make Unga go down. We have to sit down and ask ourselves, this country has been a begging economy. We cannot always be begging. We have been begging for medical, we have been begging for our health, we have been begging for education. And I remember 2 years ago when I stated that we have a very big problem. If we have to go for money from abroad to educate our kids, to pay for our doctors, it will get to a point where we cannot sustain this economy. And right now, this is what is happening. I cannot blame the Hasra government. Yes, there are some issues that I expected that the Hasra government could have embraced. If it was a Hasra government, I don't understand why right now ministers and county government sake cannot use pro boxes instead of the big cars they are using. We could cut a lot of costs in terms of running the government if we were deliberate and intentional in cutting the cost. There's no way a minister would have 5 V8 engine and call yourself a Hasra government. I agree with that. But don't this do Ruto as a president have some ideas that will make sense? Yes, some tests subset do not work. Sometimes the subsidy will only help the billionaires. We need to look at the big picture. We fix the root cause. It will be painful for some time, but that is what President Ruto is doing. That is what Gachagua is doing. I may disagree on what Gachagua is doing on camera fighting about alcoholism, but his wife, Dorcas Gachagua, has a very good point on how to handle the alcohol menace in Mount Kenya region. And the way he talks about it, the only way to handle the issue of alcoholism in Mount Kenya region is not about even work. The people who drink alcohol, most of them have jobs, but after working and getting money, all the money they have, they take it, all the money to the bars and clubs around. So it's not about lack of job. It's an issue of mindset and mental health. And I agree with Dorcas Gachagua that we need to fix the mindset. We need to fix the boy child, because once we have a strong father figures in a community, we'll have less kids with mental health issues, with city mindsets, and we have kids who have self-control. That is how you control alcoholism. Fighting club owners, fighting manufacturers, fighting distributors, fighting club owners, fighting anyone who sells alcohol. We not solve the issue of alcoholism in Mount Kenya. The issue of Mount Kenya alcoholism is about boy child mental health. That is what we need to fix, and alcoholism will be over. Otherwise, it will not work. Whatever Kiunjuri was commenting about having jobs was just a popular statement that don't make sense. Whatever the guy said about fighting the distributor and sellers was a shallow still. But if you can talk to the wife seems to have a better understanding of the alcohol menace in Mount Kenya. We need to fix the boy child, and alcoholism will be over. Let us meet in the next video. I'm your host James. Let me know what you think about it, about these matters, about alcoholism and people trying to divide Mount Kenya into 2 or 3. Are we celebrating Mugiki to take leadership again? Are we celebrating to see Kikuyu divided as we are divided 100 years ago by the white colonialists? Let me know in the comment section your point of view.